everybody, and welcome to the Bob Stoops app. I'm Brad McMullen along with Hall of Fame football coach Bob Stoops, and it's Super Bowl time, and for the third consecutive year in a row, the University of Oklahoma has more participants in the Super Bowl than any other school, so it's hard to pick a winner in this one, right?
Yeah, it really is. And I'm not somebody that roots for anyone. I want my guys that are OU guys just to do well. You know, we've got, like you said, we've got 5 guys on the Chiefs and 2 on the Eagles, being Jalen Hurts and Lane Johnson, and then, oh my gosh, James Winchester, Wanye Morris, Samaje P. Ryan, Creed Humphrey,
Hollywood Brown,
and
Hollywood Brown, wide receiver for the
and
Chiefs.
Fortunately, he got back here in the back half of the year, so I was fortunate enough to go by and watch them practice about a month and a half ago. Andy Reid couldn't have been a nicer guy and all his staff. So anyway, but I just root for my guys to do well and play well.
And you think about in the history of the NFL, all of these amazing dynasties, but they never won 3 Super Bowls in a row. The Patriots didn't do it. The Cowboys didn't do it. The 49ers didn't do it. The Steelers didn't do it. The Chiefs have the opportunity to do it this year, but again, there's a reason why no one's done it before.
Yeah, it's amazing that hasn't happened. I say that, but not really. I think back to when the Giants beat the Patriots, where the Patriots only had one loss maybe the entire year. What a great team. And Eli Manning and the Giants just put it together and beat them. So it's really hard to do. And I guess if I'm a betting man, first of all, I'd run from this game.
Run.
But if I'm not rooting, but if I had to put money on, because no one's ever done it before, and the run game and the defense of the Eagles, I think if I was a betting man and had to bet, I'd bet the Eagles.
Yeah, and did you watch the Eagles game against Washington?
Oh,
Holy cow.
And Washington was hot.
50 points, yes.
They were hot at the time,
Yeah.
so that was a big win.
I think the thing that really surprised me in that game that I even thought Washington would probably win was how great the Eagles' defense was to shut down, arguably one of the most dynamic players to play the quarterback position in a long time in Jayden Daniels.
Absolutely, and that's why my feeling is just that run game with the Eagles and Jalen Hurts' ability to run the ball, not let alone Saquon Barkley, but also the defense of the Eagles. And I get it, Kansas City's had a great defense also, but I just feel, with the odds of winning 3 in a row aren't with them, and that run game and the defense of the Eagles, that's what I would bet.
And since we're just going to play both sides of the coin, I'll just take the Chiefs.
And Patrick Mahomes.
And
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid, guys.
How'd you bet against Andy Reid?
Yeah.
What a great
the most
coach.
dangerous weapon for the Chiefs of all, Samaje P. Ryan.
That's right.
And Hollywood Brown. So, all right, we'll go on that. I think it's going to be a great game, a lot of fun. But truly, as you said, if you're trying to gamble, run from this game because there's too many different angles you look at and say, well, this team would have an advantage.
I agree. Like I said, so I gave all the positives about the Eagles. Andy Reid and Mahomes and Steve Spagnuolo with the defense and how great their defense has played. So I don't know what to tell you.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, someone else that's used to winning right now is Ryan Day. That's right. The Ohio State head football coach not only won the national championship last month, but he just won a big payday from Ohio State, now upping his salary to over $12 million a year, $12.5 million to be exact, which is second only to Kirby Smart at $13.2 million. The interesting part for me, though, is you take it back 2 months ago when they lost to Michigan.
That's right.
He was number 1 on the hot seat on ESPN.com to get fired, and then he went on the streak and beat all those teams.
Good for him. I know Ryan Day, they honored me a couple years ago at their coaches clinic for being an Ohio coach, and in their it just awarded me with that. What a wonderful guy. What a big-time program. So good for him. People say, how much money? You know how much money Ohio State brings in because of football and winning? Oh, my goodness. You have no idea. So he's worth every penny. A great person, great man. Love what he does with mental health. He's really big on promoting that. So I'm a big fan of his. I think he's a great coach. I think they're incredibly smart to have done this. I'm really glad he won the national championship. Again, I don't root for anybody. But if a guy being on the hot seat after the last game, losing 4 in a row to Michigan, to win the Big Ten championship and then win the national championship, good for him. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I'm thrilled for him. Of course, I had the opportunity to go and speak to the football team last year. He's a first-class guy.
Yep.
And they love him up there. And I mean that the players around him, you saw them fight for their coach. I know you talk about this a lot when that Sugar Bowl against Alabama, when people were like, this is the greatest Alabama team of all time, gave OU no shot, and your team got together around and said, no, we're not going to lose that game.
No, my guys knew what I had said. It had been promoted. I didn't promote it. I didn't bring it up the entire month ahead of playing Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. But they knew the whole world's going to come after me if Alabama comes in here, beats us, or runs us out of the gym. And fortunately, we pretty much ran them out of the gym. I wouldn't say that, but we beat them soundly. And my players knew that. And they, when you're with them daily, they care about you when you care about them. And I know that's a situation with Ryan Day, and I love it. His players fought back for him.
Yeah, congratulations to him on the big payday, and most importantly on that national championship with all the odds against him. All right, one of the big stories that has been out there in college football the last few years has been the fake injury to kind of slow down the momentum of the plays. You know this well, Coach, because you have high-powered offenses that have been out there for years, and it's all of a sudden it's like a free timeout. Now the Coaches Association is asking the NCAA and the Rules Committee to come in and say, all right, if you come out for an injury, whether it's fake or not, you are out for the entire series that time.
I like the rule because, truthfully, they're not all fake. A guy thinks he gets up, you got a little bit of a tweak of a ankle or knee, whatever, and you think, I'll be okay. And then you realize, here they come running up to the line. I'm really not okay. So you have to leave. But sometimes it is fake. You see it, it's obvious. Guy just goes down. And so anyway, point being, I think it's a great rule. If you come out, whatever it is, you come out until it's a touchdown or a punt, and then you can re-enter the next series. I think it's the right thing to do.
I agree with you. And some of them, though, are hilarious. When you see the guy standing up and the coaches are doing this, and then he falls over, and you're like, and the Academy Award goes to that guy.
But truly, sometimes a guy is kind of, I'm trying to get, I think I can go, but then you realize it's not the best interest of my defense for me or offense to stay on the field. I need to go down.
That's true.
And point being, if being out 2 plays, be out 8 plays. You'll even be better when you come back.
There you go.
So I think it's a really smart rule.
All right, so we're going to finish this show talking about recruiting. Oklahoma just finished their recruiting class for 2025. It ranks, according to Rivals, at 18th in the country, but they only had 18 players. So we kind of dug down a little bit more. If you actually looked at player rankings, player by player, Oklahoma had an average of a 3.78, which would rank them 8th in the nation in recruiting. We knew going in that OU was going to take a smaller class. What are your thoughts of this year's class?
Yeah, I think it's a great class. Coach Venables and the whole staff have done a great job recruiting all these years. I think they do an incredible job. And just as you said, the transfer portal is such a big deal now. I don't know how you rank these freshman classes or new classes coming in. And I think that's the right way to look at it, is the number of players times whatever stars and rankings they have. And we're always really high in that.
Yes.
And to me, that's what really matters. And then you have to do well in the transfer portal.
Yep. So if you look at average star rankings, Oklahoma is ahead of Notre Dame, Auburn, Florida, Tennessee, USC, and Florida State. So a really high-powered class. But going back to this number of about 105 players, you're looking for the best 105 players to be on your roster.
Absolutely. It's a different world now. I mean, like I said, it's a pro model. You got 105 players now that can be on scholarship, I guess, and NIL deals, all that it is. There's a cap to it. You have to manage it well. So I'm sure, that's the model we're working towards, is a pro model with the general manager along with Coach Venables to help, lead that and govern how we're going to distribute the money. So I'm encouraged by the direction we're going.
And then the transfer portal, Oklahoma didn't bring in a lot of players, 11 players, but they did bring in the #1 available player at the quarterback position, John Mature. And this is a guy that has all of the tools to help OU get where they want to go.
I've watched him this year, love the way he plays. Body type of like a Baker Mayfield, which I love. Strong, sturdy, strong guy that can break away from one-arm sacks, those kind of things. I got a chance to meet John the other day at workouts. What a neat young man. He's excited to be here. So I'm excited about him. With all that experience, that makes a difference. And his relationship with Coach Arbuckle, that goes such a long way.
Yeah, it's not going to be a new system for him. But one of the things I enjoy, we're here in the Switzer Center, about 30 feet outside. When he was a sophomore in high school, he came up here for an OU football camp and did this. So even though he didn't choose Oklahoma in the beginning, he's chosen the Sooners now, and he knows the heritage, he knows the expectation, and he knows there's only one Oklahoma.
I love that. I did not know that story, but he's a true Sooner then if he did that at a young age. And I love it. I walked up to him, and I don't expect these young guys anymore. I've been out 8 years to really know who I am.
Oh, come on.
And I started walking up to John, and he looked at me. He just got done with the part of a workout and was walking back, and he goes, "The man." So I chuckled. I go, no, you're the man now. So I said, welcome, and we're glad you're here. Really a neat guy. So that was kind of fun to meet him.
I'm excited about watching him play, and we'll see what happens this spring and, of course, this fall, where all those big expectations will be there. And with your guy, your former defensive coordinator, who's now the head coach, calling the defensive plays for the Sooners.
Yeah, how things have unraveled here after the season. I love it, to be honest with you. They're not a better D coordinator in the country than Brent Venables. And now, you have to have people. I kind of told Lincoln Riley the same thing when he became the head coach, and he was the offensive coordinator, still calling the play. I said, you need to have more people help you with the minutia around being the head coach. You direct the team as a leader, and call your defense, call your offense at that time. It's like you can do that both, but that's what you're great at. So be great at it. And so I think Brent will do a great job with it. He's an incredibly bright guy, and and to me, what you need to do as an administration is give him all the help around it, that he doesn't have to deal with all the little things that are around the program. Do what's important. Yep. That's lead the team. That he's a great leader, and be a great defensive play caller, which he is.
And let's be honest, consistency breeds championships. You have Arbuckle, John Mateer, they have a relationship. They've been in the same offense now for the third year going in. Brent Venables picked this defense. He picked these players. He has built the formula. And I feel like the reason why these guys did not leave, and we had a lot of players that were high-profile players that could have gone to the NFL that decided to stay and decided not to transfer, is they believed in that consistency of knowing who was going to be calling their defensive plays.
That's right, and that's why I believe it's the right move by Brent. And like you said, they want to know this is a defense I'm going to play in. It's been successful for umpteen years, and was successful a year ago. And Brent's just like, hey, I'm just going to continue it with what I've been doing, and he's the right guy to do it.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this year. And if you look at that schedule, it only got more difficult when you add the Michigan Wolverines, who won their last 2 games, beating Ohio State and beating Alabama. I mean, if you're a fan of college football, just watch the Sooners this year. You're going to see a lot of great games.
It's amazing. I'm with you that we have a really difficult SEC schedule, and then we add Michigan to it. So, we'll fight through it, and got confidence in our staff with Coach Venables, the whole group, the team, and we got a lot of, good leaders back, and so you just got to go do it.
And I'll leave you with this, guys. Coach Venables said, it's the SEC. We've got a tough schedule, but they also have to play us. They have to play Oklahoma.
That's right.
Great attitude.
That's right.
All right, for Coach Stoops, I'm Brad McMullen saying have a great Super Bowl weekend, everybody. And remember, for videos anytime, just log on to our video link.